Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome to the channel, I'm Lauren. So excited to do this video that even though I'm super sick, and I'm probably going to be doing a lot of cuts in this video, just because I'm coughing so much tonight. Let's unbox this thing. Okay, so we have this nice box. I was just coughing so hard that I drooled on myself a little bit. Let's go ahead and open her up. Okay, and here we have the Razer Phone. I've always kind of been a Razer fanboy. I've been wanting a Razer Phone for a while. Boom, magical. I changed my shirt. I got a nice glass of warm water here that we can drink. You know, I like to drink with you guys a lot on this channel. You know, it's kind of my thing. But grab a glass, let's have a drink. You know, I've always been a fan of Razer's packaging. Already, it looks very sleek just inside of the box. On the front, you just have an embossed Razer logo in black. You have special edition 1337 worldwide. Is that supposed to be elite? The only special thing about this particular version is it's the green version. So on the back of the phone, as I'm sure we'll see, instead of the black logo, it's going to have a green logo. So the 1337 worldwide is as obvious as it sounds. This special edition only has 1,337 units of this color manufactured in the world. I was lucky enough to get one of them. Contents: Razer Phone, 64 gig. Important product information guide. That's what I'm really interested in the information guide. Designed and engineered by Razer in California. Let's keep opening this thing. I'll be, you know, as careful as I can to the packaging, not scratch the box at all. There we go. The box doesn't feel like cardboard. It almost feels like canvas that's been painted or something. Overall, very simple. Just has a nice, ooh, that just snaps open, flips open. Watch, listen, play. From the CEO and Corrective Director, Min Liang Tan. Introducing the Razer Phone, blah, blah, blah. And we have the beautiful Razer Phone right on the top. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I get a good feeling from this already. It is a little large for my hand. I don't have like huge hands. Why I went with the iPhone 8 for my last phone over the 8 Plus was just because the 8 Plus was so much larger that I couldn't really handle it. Well, next you have that, just flips over. Product information here, I'm assuming. This is the packaging for the SIM eject tool as a branded Razer SIM eject. Product information guide. We got one last paper in here. You know, Razer always likes to include these stickers into their products. We keep going through the box. We have USB-C to 3.5mm headphone jack. It has the USB-C to USB-C adapter for charging, included right in the box, unlike another certain company. We have the quick charging box with the USB-C port on it, included right in the box. Oh. Oh. This just turned into an ASMR video. And there you go. So first impressions, the special edition, you have the nice green logo on the back, dual camera, flashlight on the front, single camera, got a nice screen, a bit of a forehead and a bit of a chin down here. I don't really mind that as much. Ports on this side. You got the SIM port with the SIM ejector pin right there. I believe that is a fingerprint sensor on the side. On the bottom, USB-C. So it does not have a dedicated headphone jack, but the USB-C to headphone jack dongle is included in the box. I don't really like that. For a dedicated gaming phone, I think it should have a built-in 3.5mm connector, especially since the phone is not water resistant. On this side, you just have the two buttons. Oh, there you go, powered by Android. So I'm not sure, I think this is a fingerprint sensor, but it also has a physical actuation on it. Razer. I'm already noticing that kind of to use the phone, I'm having to hold it in one hand while I scroll with the other, just because it's as bulky. So this phone does have a fingerprint reader. We finally have the nice default splash screen. Now onto the specifications part for the phone. Reading down the spec sheet, of course, the Razer phone is 120 hertz display, so that's Razer's big claim to fame for this, is that it's 120 hertz, and if it's not 120 hertz, it's not a real gaming phone. Of course, it's not 144 hertz either, so I'm gonna have to ding them a point for that. Refresh rate is adjustable, as we'll show later. Speaking of the display, the entire screen is 5.7 inches. It's 1440 by 2560. And the glass on the screen is Gorilla Glass 3. Also, the screen supports HDR for Netflix. It also has 5.1 surround sound if you're using Netflix. The speakers are Dolby Atmos certified and THX certified if you're using headphones. It has stereo speakers that are front-facing, each with their own amplifier. The phone has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, 64 gigabytes of memory, and a micro SD card slot, which is in the same tray that you put the SIM card into. For cameras, it has 12 megapixel dual cameras in the back, and it has an 8 megapixel front-facing selfie camera. The rest of the body is aluminum, so of course you're not going to be able to get wireless charging with this phone. That is a feature that I've been enjoying with my iPhone 8, but with the USB-C charging built right into the phone, I'm not going to complain too much about that. Getting into some of the features of the phone that I didn't actually know were on here, there is a tap to wake up feature, so you can just double tap anywhere on the screen and it'll wake it up so you can check your notifications, and it'll show your notifications. You can also just double tap the screen to shut it off. There is also a lift to wake feature, similar to what iPhone is doing right now. It is a little slower, but it is lift to wake. Of course, the screen is not OLED, so you can't just have the clock in the background all the time without actually having to turn or to wake up the screen to watch the clock. For me personally, OLED isn't that big of a deal. I don't care that much about the super high contrast or the ability to have the clock on, so I'm not going to dock the phone points for that. But if it is an important feature for you, the phone doesn't have an OLED screen. So let's get into some of the usability. To change the screen settings, all you have to do is go into settings, display, refresh rate, and then you can change the phone around between 60 hertz, 90 hertz, 120 hertz. I have it set to 120 hertz right now. It'll drain the battery a lot faster. Let's go ahead and try the camera out, see how the camera is. So it has just a touch zoom, up to 8 times digital zoom. That looks pretty nice. That's on camera 1. Let's take a test photo with that. Doesn't look too bad to me. I do look a little washed out. It could just be the lighting in my room, and I'm definitely not the best photographer. So I just turn the phone around and then use the front-facing cameras to take that photo. And if you want to take a video, you just have to swipe the whole thing over and it'll enter the video mode. Let's give the selfie camera a try. Okay, selfie cam doesn't look too bad. I think overall the image quality looks pretty good to me. Is it going to be iPhone quality? Maybe not. But photography isn't really that important to me, and it's not definitely not one of the most important features on a phone. As long as I can have a camera that looks decent and will take decent photos that aren't too grainy, that's satisfactory for me. And I've been noticing if I try to pick up my phone like this, I'll accidentally shut it off sometimes, or if I'm picking it up and trying to read my thumbprint, it doesn't read nearly as cleanly as I'd like. It sometimes won't read. I have to put my thumb back on there to be able to get the fingerprint scanner to work. But when I do just lightly, press my thumb against it, it does read pretty cleanly. Let's open up a YouTube video and test out how the screen looks and how the speakers are. Okay, so there's definitely some weird stuff on the front page of YouTube. I saw a PewDiePie video. So turning auto rotate on, let's try to watch the video, see how it looks, see how it sounds.
YouTube has become a reality. reality TV show.
Okay, let's push up the speakers all the way to the top.
To the fight between KSI and Logan Paul and Jake Paul.
Screen looks pretty good.
That wasn't even last press conference. Was a beautiful thing.
The audio is pretty great on here. Let's try to get up a nice song here, see how it sounds. The screen is feeling very smooth in 120 hertz. How, you know, it might not be as apparent on the recording, but it does feel very smooth going up and down. The thing is putting out an impressive amount of sound. As I impressed with it as I would be with over-the-ear headphones? No. But am I impressed with it for a phone? Yes. So I have a couple apps here. I just downloaded, you know, PUBG Mobile and Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. Now, I've never played Final Fantasy 15. The Pocket Edition is supposed to be optimized for the 120 hertz screen, just for the Razer phone. So we're going to be trying that out for the first time. And I played PUBG Mobile on my other phone, and I'd like to especially see how the speakers compare and the larger display for really playing like a shooting game, a mobile shooting game. So with that said, let's get right into it and test the phone out and just see how it feels while doing some gaming. None of these games are sponsors, by the way. Razer did not sponsor this video either. I just wanted to make a review on it. These are just the games that I enjoy and want to try out and see how they feel on the phone. The phone definitely feels a lot bigger in my hand. Like if I want to reach over and do something with this thumb over here, you know, I really have to reach. It'd be easier just to do with this thumb. Before, I mean, I have, but you saw on the previous screen, the default graphics setting were set to high. So with this phone, you know, they automatically set them to high because the phone can handle the power of it. Just sliding my hands over the glass feels a little difficult. Like there's a little, my hands almost stick a little bit. It doesn't feel quite as smooth as I'd like it either. I'm not sure if that's avoidable though. Oh, here's someone already. All right, where are they? Where are they? Ah. All right. Well, that person moves around. I'm gonna try to get a sense of the stereo field. That does sound pretty good so far. Of course, we can go get a car and then just drive around and kill people that way. And smash! It does seem to be kind of a little easier to tell where people are coming from for me. Clearly bots. Not even paying attention to me. It was like the gauntlet, friggin' everybody's around here. It does seem a little harder to see people on the screen. I don't know if that's just because it's a larger screen, so that, you know, my eyes have to look around a lot more places, or if it's because it's not quite as high resolution. I am having a harder time picking out enemies on the screen, like running around and seeing where they are. Yeah, boy. The phone's also not as easy to hold up in one hand. It does have a significant amount more weight to it. So if I'm trying to wipe my hand off or do something with the one hand while I, you know, just leave my phone in the one hand, it is a significant amount more heavier. You know, not bad in this orientation, but trying to hold it up from the side like this. Oh, here's another. The dragging across the screen is a little inconvenient. Like, it's making me not want to zoom in as much because it just is a little more difficult to drag the like mouse across the screen. So I'd say it passes the PUBG mobile test. That felt pretty good. I'm also noticing the phone is getting slightly warm with just that like half an hour of gameplay use. Now let's go ahead and open up Final Fantasy 15, the Pocket Edition, and see how that runs. Now this is the one that's been optimized for 120 hertz, so I especially want to see how that looks. I'm gonna make sure it's on. All right, let's try it out.
The decreed hour is come. Set forth with my blessing, Prince Noctis.
Come on, car isn't gonna move itself. What?
Push this thing by yourself.
All by myself?
Please begin exploring. Tap the main menu to see the map. And gameplay on this feels pretty damn smooth so far. .30 FPS recommended, maximum FPS. Let's use whatever the max is. Ooh, I already feel a difference there between what I was running at 30 and this. Oh, that feels smooth. I like that. I like that. So another game on the phone that's supposed to be optimized for the 120 hertz display is this World of Tank Blitz. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start out the refresh rate at 60 hertz. Destroy the enemy tank.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Okay, I mean 60 hertz so far seems perfectly fine. Seems like it's enough. It's not like it's you know, skipping frames or anything like that. I am now going to switch the screen to 120 hertz and see if I can really notice any difference. Oh, that was stupid.
Punched right through their armor. They're hit.
I didn't notice anything super smooth about that compared to 60 hertz. I'll try another match just to see if, you know, if moving the camera around a lot is where it really shines out or something.
Let's go.
So, as I was playing out on 120 hertz, I didn't really notice a significant difference between 60 hertz and 120 hertz for that particular app. Phone is getting pretty warm. Overall, the 120 hertz display is very smooth. It's much more noticeable on that app than I noticed in the World of Tanks. So overall, the experience with the 120 hertz display has been very positive so far. It seems very smooth, you know, going back and forth. Not a lot of blur, if any, that's noticeable. The batteries lasted a while. I'm down to 40% from 100%. That's been a couple hours of solid gameplay. The refresh rate's smart enough. If you're just sitting here with the screen open, not moving, the refresh rate will drop down to lower levels. What you can also do, one really nice app that's already included in the phone is Gamebooster under settings. And under Gamebooster, you can go custom, power saving, performance, and automatically change what refresh rates to use on certain apps. So, PUBG Mobile 120, which is pretty nice. And you can see in the mix between battery and performance, it was about right here with more performance and the rest was battery, and now it's a little more battery oriented than performance oriented. So, my initial thoughts after playing around with the phone for a little bit are overall positive. Still getting used to the Android experience and how that works, but overall I'm liking the phone. I like how it feels. It's a little large. I'd say pros, has the 120 hertz screen. Obviously, playing some of these games, you definitely notice the 120 hertz screen. I love the dual front-facing speakers. One thing I noticed when I was playing a game held like this, having my fingers jammed up against the side wasn't blocking any of the sound. I think that's a very smart design choice, especially considering that I have smaller hands, so my hands are pressed up right up against the sides. Another great thing about the phone is battery life. The battery is huge, so it can last a while. I think that's amazing. And overall, the phone just has a very clean look to it. Has all the necessary functionality that I need for my kind of day-to-day use, like working front and rear facing cameras. I think the major cons to this: no headphone jack on what they're claiming to be a gaming phone without a dedicated headphone jack, and the phone isn't water resistant anyways. Then I'm not sure what the purpose there was. It's just the thing, how the whole phone had to be designed. But either way, I think that was a serious missed opportunity. The overall size of the phone and kind of squared bezels on the squared corners are a bit of a con for me, just because I have smaller hands. I think if you have larger hands, it wouldn't be a problem. I can imagine, especially with a case like an OtterBox or a hard case on here, it'd make the phone even larger and almost unmanageable for me. Both a pro and a con. I like the sleek industrial look of the phone. The squared look does make it look very sleek and industrious. My first impression of the phone and the rating I'm going to give it is why not? Go ahead and buy it if you're looking to get a new phone. If you're already used to Android, I would say buy it if you're fine with an Android phone. You need something that has all the usable features that you're going to want, but you don't need maybe top of the line. Buy it if you need a phone that has all the basic features of a phone that are still usable. They're, for example, the cameras aren't industry leading, but they're good enough. And if you're really into mobile gaming, obviously this is a great phone for you that you should consider looking into. The 120 hertz screen and the speakers are just amazing on here and will really help with games like PUBG, if you're just screwing around in something like Final Fantasy 15. But if you have really small hands, I can't recommend getting the phone, because playing those games was even a little difficult for me, and if you have smaller hands, it might be even harder. I'm even considering getting a stylus or using a stylus for something like Final Fantasy 15, just so I don't have to reach my thumb all the way across the screen to play. I wouldn't get this phone if you're looking for something more manageable that's going to fit in your pocket cleanly. That you're something that's going to have a larger screen without these speaker bars on the top and the front. If you're definitely more of a photographer, the cameras aren't that impressive, so I wouldn't look at this phone if you're looking for doing a lot of photography, or if that's what you're really into. That said, price point on this phone I think is a little high as well. I got it on sale during Amazon Prime Day, but the sticker price on the phone is $700. I've seen several sales on the phone where it drops the sticker price down to $600 or a little less than that, but considering that a default iPhone 8 I think is like $800 and this is coming in at $700, I think it's a little high for the quality that they have here. Not that the quality's bad, and they do have a lot of features. There's a lot of tech in here, but it just feels like it's a little high for what I'm getting. You're paying a little extra for the Razer brand itself. Everything else about the phone seems okay. Everything about the phone seems pretty good, and I'd put it at that. It's pretty good. It's not impressive, you know, it didn't exactly impress me, but that didn't leave me disappointed. I'm glad I made the purchase. What's the plan that I'm gonna do with this phone? How am I gonna do a use review to really say what it's like using this phone on the daily? So I'm not gonna use it completely. I'm still gonna leave my SIM card in my other phone, but I'm gonna use this phone kind of as a daily driver, so to speak. My plan is to carry around both phones with me for 1 month. I'm going to use this phone for all my media, or PUBG, I'm going to play around with those. For taking photos, I'm going to use this phone. So essentially, except for actual phone calls, everything else, phone calls and texting, everything else I'm going to do on this phone. So we'll give it 1 month. I'll do a in detailed review on what it's like using this phone, how it really feels to use it as a daily how it really feels to use it as a daily driver, and I'll put that in another video. One con about the phone as well is that they only included 64 gigabytes of storage on the phone, which, if it's supposed to be more of a multimedia phone, if you're trying to store shows on here, movies, it seems a little small. That is expandable with up to a 2 terabyte SD card that you can put into the SIM card tray. It seems like, especially with a lot of other phones offering 128 gigabyte or 256 gigabyte options, they should have at least boosted that up to 128 for this phone. I think that's about all I have to say. So with all that said, I'm going to start playing a little PUBG to relax for the evening, and using it as my daily driver for the next month to let you guys know what it's really like using this phone. That said, leave a comment. Do you have a Razer phone? What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? If you're considering getting a phone, what features most interest you, or what would be the deal breakers about the phone be? If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike the video, you know there's a dislike button as well. If you dislike the video, leave a comment about why and let me know how I can improve. That's always appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already, and if you want more content like this. Appreciate your watching, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.